Figure subscription service number 8 from the G.I. Joe Collectors Club has arrived. The next figure we're looking at is actually one of my personal favorites, and that is Captain Gridiron. Here we have Captain Gridiron from the G.I. Joe Collectors Club figure subscription service number 8. First thing we're going to look at is the card. Now I got to be really careful. This package tends to fall over really easy. So here we have the character or the figure and his accessories in the bubble. And over here we have the classic look with the explosion back and the character posed in some really cool action scene. And I don't know, it looks like he's dodging a football grenade with this explosion and all. Anyway, down in the bottom left corner we have the 80s style Hasbro logo, and the top left corner it says adult collectible, although they do mention it's not for children under 3, so I don't know, put that together. But I think, kind of like the old figures, that this should be fine for ages 8 and up. In the top right corner we got the G.I. Joe Collectors Club website address and the word exclusive, which means it was expensive. So, who is Captain Gridiron? Well, he is an infantry officer, or so it says above his head there. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it around. I'm going to have to hold this thing up because if I don't, there's a strong possibility it's just going to fall over. See? Oh, I got it. Look at that. Cool. So in the top left corner here, it has, again, the website link, well, for as long as it still works, for the G.I. Joe Collectors Club. And then we got kind of a zoomed in portrait and a big little J hook like right through his head. I think someone was trying to give him brain surgery or something, but kind of zoomed in. If that wasn't there, that'd be a cool, like, bigger portrait. We've got the little disclaimer in the small print here about poses. You may not be able to make the poses, and it's from the Collectors Club in Texas, made in China, and product may vary, la-di-da-di-da. And we've got the G.I. Joe Club website again, and the modern Hasbro logo right there. I'll get to this in just a moment, but here on the side, there we go, it says G.I. Joe Club Exclusive 8-04. Now that doesn't stand for August 4th, as I'm sure anyone who's been watching my videos is starting to get tired of that little bit of a joke, but this represents figure subscription service number 8, and this Captain Gridiron character is the 4th release. So anyway, and before I move on to the rest of it, make note that on the side here there is no information about what accessories come in this figure with this figure. So it's not quite like the vintage in that regards, even though this is a vintage-like package. There we go. So right here, this is the heart of the G.I. Joe characters. This is what made the toys real, and that is the file card. It talked about them, talked about their history, where they're from, what their real name is, and all sorts of stuff. So I'm going to read it, and you're going to either listen or fast forward now. So, all right. So, code name is Captain Gridiron, and he is an infantry officer. His file name is Terrence Linden, and his primary military specialty is hand-to-hand combat specialist, with his secondary military specialty being, well, infantry. His birthplace was, or is, depends on if he's alive or dead, Evergreen Park, Illinois, and his rank is grade 03, way over there. All right, so what's to say about him? Well, Captain Gridiron was a quarterback of the West Point football team and graduated in the top 10 of his class. It can be said in his favor that he passed up an appointment to the U.S. Army War College for a conventional infantry command at the company level. It was this determination to be where the action is that brought him to the attention of the G.I. Joe team. He quickly impressed General Hawk with his battlefield strategies and unconventional use of weaponry, such as the football grenade. Although some of his teammates were a bit put off by his West Pointer when he first showed up, he turned out to be bearable to the point that nobody tried to lose him on their first mission, or on his first mission. In fact, if he would only stop trying so hard to be a likable officer, and put a halt to his John Wayne, a classic Hollywood tough guy, imitation, they might let him play quarterback at the annual fish fry football game. That's kind of funny. So he has a quote down here. I bring new meaning to throwing the long bomb. Well, haha, that's true, because right there is his football bomb, or grenade, or whatever you want to call it. So that's kind of good. Now, I don't remember if this, let's see, Captain Gridiron came out, I want to say late 80s, off the top of my head. It seems like 88, maybe 89, somewhere in there. He wasn't a 90s figure. He was before that. Well, no, maybe 88 to 90, one of those years, 88, 89, or 90. And I don't remember that they had these quotes on those file cards. So it'll be interesting to go back and take a look. So anyway, so that's, whoa, let's throw this around. That's the Captain Gridiron package. Now, I have to admit, this was one of the first figures that I attempted. I mentioned in another video how typically in the past when I would open up figures, I just grab these and rip it off. Well, I have to admit that right here, it looked like I might be able to do it pretty easily, because it didn't look like it was grabbing too much of that background. So I just kind of started pulling stuff off, and as soon as the word code and the other word captain started peeling off, I decided to stop. So I'm going to take this and kind of cut it around the edge here real quick, and we're going to get him out, because that's the whole point of this, is getting these figures out, getting the toys out, starting to play with them, take pictures of them, do stuff. These guys are cool. I'm loving this figure subscription service 8. I know there's a few people that aren't real keen on it, but I'm enjoying them a lot. So anyway, I'll be right back with the figure. All right, here is Captain Gridiron again, and he looks like he's still in the package, but if I turn it sideways and show you, see, he is he is in the package, but he's no longer connected via the bubble. Like I said, I cut the top and the side and the bottom. That way, if I want to slide him back in, I can do that. So, figure stand made it out. Let's get him out now. So, I'm going to take this card, and I'm going to say I'm going to throw it, but I'm not really throwing it. Just kind of tossing it off to the side here. So, we've already seen that Captain Gridiron comes with a labeled figure stand, and he comes with Shocking Him. And he comes with his long gun. Unfortunately, he doesn't come with that double barrel gun. They had the rockets. And then toss this off to the side. And he comes with a football grenade. Now, this looks just like the one used with Slaughter's Marauders Red Dog, and I don't know much beyond that before that, so I'm guessing it must have come with the earlier Red Dog as well. But beyond that, I don't know who else used this football grenade. Oops. Let's just pull my background up here and hide everything. Come on. And he also comes with his helmet. Now, I've heard a lot of people complain about this helmet, but this will be my first time actually getting to see it in person. I really like the head sculpt. It's a neat. I love the colors. I love how they put it together. I think this is a really great gridiron. Gridiron's one of my favorites, so that helps. And it's not because I got into the G.I. Joe hobby later. He's just one of my favorites. I liked him. Anyway, so it is a kind of an odd looking helmet. Oops, let me just throw it away. I'll be right back. So anyway, what I was saying was that I've heard complaints about this helmet, and it is kind of weird looking. I don't know if I can get it much closer to my camera or not, but if you look at the bottom, it's kind of misshaped. It's not real even. And I've heard that it pops out like so. So you're going to want to be careful and watch out for that, because that means this piece may one day be one of those hard to find pieces like mics. Like the mics on different figures, like say Scoop or Heavy Metal. But anyway, I don't know about this helmet. Every time I've seen someone put it on, it looks kind of silly and stupid. And that doesn't look too bad. Definitely needs the grill over it. I'm thinking that the problem is the grill might be hitting here on his chest, and it won't allow it to go much further. Well, actually, that's not too bad. That's pushed down real far. And it does kind of look tall, but I think one of the illusions here is the helmet's not so tall, but the grid, the chin guard area is so tall. It's so low, it just makes it look weird. Because when the helmet's on without the chin guard, it doesn't look so bad. So I think it may be some sort of an illusion that we're looking at. But also, if you notice here in the back, the helmet kind of gets stuck in his collar. And so that's going to restrict his movement to next to nothing. He can move just fine, like so. But you have to keep his collar up. See? Yep, it's already starting to come off because I took it off once. But if you put it up higher, he's got more range of motion. But then it's that really tall, weird look. Anyway, I'll take the helmet off for right now. So here's Gridiron with his yellow pants and his green top. And some sort of like looks like an armored vest. I'm not sure what pieces make him up, but I really like the head sculpt. I think it looks really good for him. So, what's his range of motion? So that's about as high up as his arms go. Can't really go up much. Well, actually, that arm can go up a little bit higher. Not sure why that one can go up there. We'll rotate him around, stick his armpits in the air, and that's where he can go there. While we got this, we'll look at his hands here. That's kind of his hand shape for holding guns in the football grenade. So his arms rotate all the way around. His elbows also rotate. Now make note that it looks like he's got, he's tight. He's got some little nubs here, so his range of motion backward is about like that. It's not real far, but he also don't need his elbows to bend backwards. He's got swivel wrist, and that's it. In fact, he's got some serious wrists on him. They just rotate around. They rotate this far down, and so there's no back and forth or anything like that with him. So he's got a vest on, and oh, I just noticed he's got a gun. He got a little gun in a holster on his vest here. So what about gymnastics? Well, sorry, I keep bumping my audio device. That's about his splits location, and he can sit pretty straight. And if we slide, he can actually do really pretty good backwards. That's about what he can do for a range of motion backwards. And then he's got the typical double knee joint. There's one, and there's two. And he's doing some sort of a little hip-hop dance. Anyway. Then he's got some interesting boots here. They kind of, they don't really rotate. They kind of go sideways. If you see how that works, they kind of just go like sideways. That's what happens when you rotate them. His like he's going on a ballerina going on point backwards. That's his rotation. So that's kind of odd and funky. But he does have, he can go on point. And actually with the his little green camo, he kind of looks like he's got some camo ballerinas. So we'll put him in this position here real quick, if that'll work. So we've got an on-point gridiron. Put him in the next nutcracker. And that's about as far forward as his feet go. They don't go too much further forward. So that's Gridiron's range of motion. If the vest was off, he wouldn't have any further range of motion. These are pretty good gap and holds. They don't really, what's the word I'm looking for? They don't hinder his movement whatsoever. The left side has a way you can unhook it. And I don't know if I want to try and take it off. Right this... Actually, I'm going to have to pop his head off. Oh no, he's headless! The headless gridiron! So I can probably pop it off with a little bit of effort. A little bit of effort. Just a little bit. You know, if it's that hard to take off. Oh, wow. Every time I'm giving up, there it goes. And so what's he look like? He has got some... Yeah, he just doesn't look quite right. You know, most of the figures that have some sort of a vest on don't really look quite right when you take the vest off. And I know it's designed that this is going to be a skinnier, thinner area so that the vest or the coat or whatever will kind of balance out the rest. At least that's the theory. So that's what he looks like without the vest. His holster, his belt, I'm looking at it here. Put your arms up. Put your dukes up. Ha, get it, duke? Never mind. I don't see any way for that to actually come off. So the belt and holster, I would consider permanently attached to him, unless you're someone who's going to, ooh, looks like there's some damage on the inside here. Oh yeah, by the way, he's got the torso range of motion. I don't know if you can see that in there. Let's see. Can't quite get my light there to it, but there's some damage like right inside there. So I'm going to have to be careful of this figure and his range of motion, because if I bend him too far, he may eventually break one day. So I'll have to make a note and remember that. Oh, that's right. We got to pop his head off. How'd you like it if you had to take your head off to put a vest on? Wouldn't that just be frustrating, irritating, and a big inconvenience? I swear, popping your head off to put your clothes on and off. I've heard of women putting their faces on, but, you know, we're talking about heads here. There we go. So here is Captain Gridiron. Grar! So there's not really... Whoa. I got tipsy. So there's not really much more to say, except for let's put a gun in his hand. If I can get a gun in his hand. There we go. So you can kind of hold the gun like so. You don't have the swivel wrist motion here, so you're kind of stuck with the direction. I see you in my sights, buddy. Anyway, he holds it pretty good. It's just the pointing is kind of funny. Kind of get used to the modern swivel wrist thing. If our old figures would have had that, that'd have been a whole lot more posability. And the same here with this. He kind of looks a little odd holding that thing. It's like arms like... Oops, there we go. So apparently it's easy to knock off. Now the football grenade, unfortunately, there's no tabs on the side here to hook that on. It just won't stay on. There's no place. And unfortunately we don't have a backpack. Oh, I didn't hook the vest up. I didn't finish dressing him. That might be about as good as I get. And there's no backpack to hook this to. Just not there, unfortunately. So it's either going to have to sit by his side or kind of hook there. Ooh, there's like a football pose, right? Roar! Put their arm out. Pointing. Point where it goes. Yeah! Maybe he's going to the Super Bowl. The Joe Bowl. Anyway. So yeah, okay, he actually holds that pretty good. A lot better than Red Dog does. When I was putting the football grenade in Red Dog's hand, it was struggling. It kept wanting to fall out. So this guy holds it pretty good. I think I like it more in his left hand. So we'll tuck that there on the left hand. He actually holds, I think, really pretty good. Looks pretty good. Put that in there. And then we'll put the funny mask on. And look at that. It's coming off again. You're going to want to really watch this grid unless you don't like it. Ha ha. Got to watch the grid. Sorry. Okay. So there we go. Oh, man, I'm going to make all sorts of noise in this video. I'm sorry. Just snagging lights and snagging audio stuff. By the way, I'm getting over being sick, so that could be part of it. So we'll kind of get him positioned right there. And here we are. There is Captain Gridiron, which I wish the mask wouldn't keep getting like crooked and make it look really bad, because you can actually make the mask look halfway decent in person. I'll take some photos and see if I can't help try to make it. Oh, look at that. There's a problem. His vest snagged his gun. That may have been why it was tough to hook over here. So anyway, Captain Gridiron, let's go and start. Actually, thank you for stopping by, and let's go to the spin around. Thank you for stopping by. If you want to drop me a line, please do so in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to be notified of future videos, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon next to it. I will see you next time.